Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the Redevelopment Commission meeting to order for July 1st, 2025 to order at 6:31 p.m. Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I didn't know which flag to look at. All your shirts. All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Carnahan?
Here.
Mr. Recupero?
Here.
Mr. Parker?
Here.
Ms. Dixon? Here. Mr. Rivera? Here. Mr. Becker?
Here.
Mr. Teal?
Here.
Ms. Haskell? Here. Ms. Beason is absent. Ms. Sandberg? Present. Mr. Eldridge?
Present.
Mr. Austin?
Present.
Ms. Higgins is present.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Item 1, approval of the minutes for June 3rd, 2025, and item 2, claims fund 804 in amount of $101.50.
So moved.
Second. All right, we have a motion by Mr. Parker, a second by Mr. Recupero. Do we have any discussion? All right, seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Recupero?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Ms. Dixon?
Yes.
Mr. Rivera?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Teal?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. All right, moving on to new business. Item 1, discuss explore everyday recipient to present in November or October 2025. Since we moved this to just presenting this twice a year now, wasn't sure what everybody's thoughts were on this, on if we, whatever we present it, we just need to make sure that we, pick who's going to be the month prior. So
you want to answer September or October?
yeah, kind of be nice, that way until it doesn't pass us up.
I'll make a motion that we pick a recipient for Explore Every Day in September 2020, or September 2025 meeting.
That we
We'll select
pick it on that day,
Yes.
present it on October.
Correct.
Okay, would anybody like to second that?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Dixon, second by Ms. Rivera to pick the recipient at our September RDC meeting and present at the October meeting. Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Recupero?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Ms. Dixon?
Yes.
Mr. Rivera?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Teal?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. All right, we'll move on to school board liaison comments. Ms. Haskell.
Hello, I do have one thing for Hanover. Last week we did vote we're going to open up the polls in November, and this is for the renewal of our operation referendum. It does expire in 2024. So this referendum will actually be for, and I have some numbers for everybody, annual revenue approximately $5,160,173. Tax rate is looking to stay the same at 0.29. So it won't be an increase. And again, it's just a renewal. This will be the second time of us renewing this referendum. And what do we use it for? Transportation is $1,483,391. So without this referendum, we wouldn't have funds to continue transportation department. Teacher retention. So we do pay quite a few teachers out of this operations referendum, and that's a total of $409,642. Student safety and school security. So that is for our 5 full-time SRO officers. It's for the 12 part-time SRO officers. Majority of those are at Cedar Lake Police Department. And that dollar amount is $759,526. Another part that this operation referendum is for is managing class sizes. So we don't have massive, huge class sizes. Keep them at a good size so the kids can learn. So there's teachers' aides and a whole bunch of other staff that is paid from this. and that part is $2,507,614. So we're hoping that Hanover Township will support us and vote yes for this referendum. If it doesn't, like when people say what happens in 2027, we won't have transportation. We don't get funds from the state for it. It's not mandatory. Those are cuts we don't want to do. So we would like the referendum to renew. Again, tax rate staying the same. So it's not like we're increasing by adding another referendum. It's a referendum that everyone's paying for already. But other than that, it's summer school been going on. Everybody's getting ready for the new year.
When will the referendum go on?
So we're going for it this November, 2025. If it's voted yes, it will renew 2027. It'll be for 8 years. The previous one was for 7, but the way that the new laws are with the state, this one would be for 8 years.
So we will have to close town hall on election day?
No.
No.
Oh, no, maybe, because I'm sorry, I misspoke. Maybe from one poll.
Yeah.
We didn't close for Crown Point.
Oh, okay.
November 4th.
It's gonna be the same thing like Crown Point did.
We'll just make a note of it when we have
Yeah.
our council.
And change it to 7 o'clock like we did with the Crown Point one?
Well, does Hanover come over here?
We come,
Yeah,
I come
7,
here.
he comes here.
Yeah. Rose Guard and that whole area comes in here.
But we were out pretty quick with the Crown Point one, so
It'll probably be done really
definitely
quick.
7 will be out.
Okay.
Just real quick question, Ms. Haskell. Now, just on the transportation side of it, if this does pass, is this just to maintain what we currently have, not to add any additionals
So
with?
it's to maintain what we currently have.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Absolutely. The same thing with the security. We want the security in the schools. We fought for the security in the schools. So we want to continue it. We don't want to have to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't pass, these are the things that would have to be cut.
Yes.
Do you currently have a walking zone?
We do have a walking zone. Mhm.
Yeah, that's kind of what I couldn't remember the terminology of it, thank you.
It's a 1 mile with Jane Ball and with Lincoln. Obviously, they can't go over railroad tracks, walking the zone. So with the high school, there's 1 mile radius, but west of the railroad tracks, that's not part of the walking zone because we can't force kids to go. There's no crossing guards there.
Yeah, is there any literature as far as like for us to get familiar with it? Like if there's no sidewalks in the area and stuff and it's still a mile, is that a non-walking zone then?
I believe all of our walking zones have
Side,
sidewalks.
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, because like off of Parish, they go behind on the school property.
Yeah.
Where there's no sidewalks on Parish, they go behind the school.
Okay.
Back by the
When
practice
we put
football
that
field.
side, when we had that mandatory
Yep.
sidewalk to nowhere, kids utilize that. 141st would be great if we can get sidewalks going over those railroad tracks eventually, because there are kids who do walk and it's unsafe because there's no sidewalks there.
I mean, I'd almost like to see bus everywhere, but of course budget, controls that a little bit. Inclement weather days, stuff like that,
With the state of Indiana, they do not give us any funding for transportation
Yeah,
at all. So it is the taxpayers that pay for it.
yeah.
And the first security guard you had there was my brother, Lynn Carnahan, Cedar Lake police officer, and only got paid $5 an hour. Those were the days.
Yeah, it's changed a lot since then, but yeah. The security guys that we have, they're fantastic, they're great with the kids. The high school will be changing, this officer is coming back to you guys, but, I mean.
That's Dave Moak?
Yeah, no, the one at the high school. Dustin.
Oh.
He was fantastic, staff and the kids just adored him, so. He'll be missed, but it's okay.
All right, thank you, Ms. Haskell.
Appreciate you saying that.
Bob, did you have anything to add for Crown Point?
No, Crown Point, they didn't send me a newsletter, I guess that's because school's out.
That's very well,
And we don't have a representative here, right?
All right, we will move on to written communication. I have not received anything. Have you seen?
I'm not in receipt of anything for the Redevelopment Commission.
All right, thank you. We will move on to public comment for redevelopment.
Cheryl Parker, 7227 West 136th Court. I just wanted clarification on a resolution, RDC resolution that was put through in Town Council approved it July 18, 2022. The RDC approved the resolution 2022-04-RDC back in July 5th of 2022. This was to transfer the property parcels, the two maintenance, the public works parcels and Potawatomi Park from the town to the RDC. And according to, this was signed by the RDC at the time, who was Nathan Vitt and Randy Niemeyer and Doug Spencer. And then the town council approved that resolution in July of 2022. This, according to the town manager at their time, he said that resolution was to transfer public works site, Potawatomi Park site, of ownership from the town of Cedar Lake to the RDC. It's in relation to potentially enhance development of the lakefront property and public infrastructure near it. Mr. Niemeyer advised that this does not mean any deals have been made. This is more prep work. Any deals that are made related to economic development aside from land acquisition and potential litigation will be done in a public forum following all open door laws. Mr. Vitt commented this gives the RDC a platform should an opportunity arise. And then the various groups sent a letter which was included in the town council agenda for the March 21, 2023 public meeting. And Veritas indicated that Lakeshore Bluffs, they had sent a letter on behalf of the town to Schilling requesting a letter of intent to move forward, and that was in February of 2022. The town attorney drafted a non-binding MOU, which memo of understanding with Schilling to move the project forward. Parkland and also Public Works, they had put that in there, was transferred to RDC. And at this point, Veritas has followed up on the MOUs multiple times, especially in the month of October, I assume that's 2022, with no response. So my question is, now that this has been transferred, is there any written documentation that this is an ongoing project at this point?
Are you talking about like the Schilling,
It was Lake Bluffs.
Lake Bluffs?
Schilling bought the old funeral property, funeral house.
So no movement has occurred, I mean, that's going back to 2022 and
Yeah, it's been 3
there's been
years.
no,
Do we have
no
any
movement
written
on it.
documentation that says it's an ongoing one? Because back then in 2022, they're indicating it was just an idea.
That it is an ongoing one?
Yes.
That it is?
Is this gonna continue? Is there any written documentation that says that this is moving forward at this point?
Can the attorney chime in? Do you have anything?
There is no documentation that this is an ongoing project.
And Schilling never replied to the multiple MOUs that were
I
sent
would
out?
say without looking at my file, the answer is yes.
Well, at this point, they never did.
They never did.
Okay, so I would like to request that we transfer the property back to the town.
Ms. Parker, if I may, I do remember some time ago that if you got on GIS, the county's website, it used to say RDC. I know because I've seen it myself, and I just pulled it up right now.
And what does it say?
And it does say owner, Town of Cedar Lake, and then when you scroll down to property class, it says exempt park district. It
Okay.
used to not say that. It used to say RDC.
Okay, so when did this go from back, that was my question. Is it still in the RDC, which is basically the financial arm of the town council? And back then in 2022, you had three additional members besides the council representative. And now in 2022, I believe there were in the minutes, town council minutes, that was gonna switch totally over to, RDC is now all town council. There's no additional members. So that's my question.
Where's the question? I'm sorry.
Is the deed still showing in the town name, or is it still?
This property is town-owned.
town-owned, but has it officially or formally, legally been transferred back from RDC to the town?
I can't answer that as we sit here now.
You what?
I cannot answer that as we sit here right now.
But-
I'm looking at my file.
Okay, so if I bring it up at the next meeting, does they have some information?
Absolutely.
All right,
I'll have a lot.
very good.
Can you put that on the agenda?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay, that's why I'm asking Rich, can we place that on the agenda?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other public comment for RDC? Third call? Anybody online? All right, seeing none, we will adjourn this meeting at 6:46 PM.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Town of Cedar Lake Town Council meeting for July 1st, 2025. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by an opening prayer?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we pause this week to remember our freedoms, the right to life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness, the right of gathering and having public discourse so that we may improve and make our union more perfect under your guidance. We ask that you would just bless these deliberations, that we may truly seek to follow your plan, to better our communication with each other, and to advance the cause of liberty throughout Cedar Lake and our nation. We thank you for these individuals who have represented us in this endeavor and ask for your blessings upon them. And as we celebrate this weekend ahead, please give us all safe and happy gatherings. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you.
And he is the chaplain of the police
This meeting is called to order at 7:02 p.m. Roll call, please, Ms. Sandberg.
Robert Carnahan.
Here.
Julie Rivera. Here. Nicholas Rapido.
Here.
Chuck Becker.
Here.
Greg Parker. Mary Jo Dixon.
Here.
Richard Field.
Here.
I am present. Benjamin Eldridge.
Present.
David Austin.
Thank you. We'll open the floor to public comment on agenda items only. Public comment on agenda items only. Second call. Last call. Anybody online, Ms. Sandberg?
No hands raised.
Thank you, ma'am. Public comment on agenda items is now closed. Moving on to the consent agenda. Number 1, minutes from May 20th, 2025. 2, claims, all town funds, $1,587,220.83. Wastewater operating, $62,429.54. Water utility, $14,717.28. Stormwater, $10,693.85. And payroll, June 19th, 2025, and July 1st, 2025, $345,169.35. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Okay. We have a motion by Mr. Becker, seconded by Ms. Dixon, to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion?
Just one item, I noticed in the claims, there's a number of repair parts purchased, and it's mainly in the street department. Does the other departments, if it's used by another department, do they pay for their parts?
Depending on what the piece of equipment or the vehicle is, yes, there is a possibility that it is split between, say, motor vehicle highway, local road and street, any one of the utilities, depending on the piece of equipment. That's why when department heads submit their invoices to my office, they are required to give us a good description of the vehicle equipment, whatever the purchase was. That way we can double check their appropriations to make sure it's coming out of the appropriate line items.
Okay, I was just curious when I saw that. There's a number of them in there.
All right, thank you for the discussion. See no further discussion, roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan.
Yes.
Julie Rivera.
Yes.
Chuck Becker.
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon.
Yes.
Richard Field.
Yes.
Greg Parker.
Yes.
Nicholas Rapido.
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Ordinances and resolutions. Number 1, ordinance number 1514, salary ordinance amendment. Mr. Parker, by title only, please.
Town of Cedar Lake, Lake County, Indiana, ordinance number 1514. An ordinance amending town salary ordinance number 1506, establishing jobs and salaries to be paid certain offices, positions, and jobs within the town of Cedar Lake for the calendar year 2025, and repealing all ordinances or parts thereof in conflict herewith.
Thank you, sir. Opening remarks, Ms. Sandberg.
Sure. Okay, so this is an amendment to the salary ordinance for 2025.
It's a two-parter. The first part is the position of the wastewater foreman technician. It is a change in the hourly rate of pay from $28.02 to $30.85. This amendment also includes the addition of the one on-call person for the Parks Department from March 16th through November 14th. This amendment, we also wrote it so it would be for the pay period beginning June 29th. So the beginning of this week, we'd make it retro too.
Very good.
And why did it go from 28 to 3085?
I could speak on that, Bob. It was brought to my attention by Director of Operations, Tim Kubiak, that the gentleman that was in this position, foreman/technician, was at that 28 and change pay rate, when we have the actual mechanic, which is listed as a technician, at the $30.85. And so it kind of an oversight during the salary ordinance that the dual title slash technician and the discrepancy of around $2 is why this needed to happen. If that makes sense?
But he's not the mechanic.
No, but he's a technician with that extra, I guess, credential and job description. He rebuilds our pumps, stuff like that. So kind of, not a mechanic in the sense of working on the vehicles, but working on other stuff for us.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you all for the clarification. There's no other discussion. Is there a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance number 1514?
So moved.
I'll second it.
We have a motion made by Mr. Teal, seconded by Mr. Becker to approve the first reading of ordinance number 1514. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julia Vera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Field?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nicholas Wakudo?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. This is a two-reading ordinance. Would somebody like to make a motion to suspend the rules and allow for a second reading?
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion made by Ms. Rivera, seconded by Mr. Teal, to suspend the rules to allow for a second reading. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julia Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Field?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nicholas Wakudo?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Mr. Parker, one more time by title only, please.
Town of Cedar Lake, Lake County, Indiana, ordinance number 1514, an ordinance amending town salary ordinance number 1506, establishing jobs and salaries to be paid certain offices, positions, and jobs within the town of Cedar Lake for the calendar year 2025 and repealing all ordinances or parts thereof in conflict therewith.
Thank you, sir. Is there any other discussion on this item? Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt 1514?
Motion to adopt.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. We have a motion made by Mr. Teal, seconded by Mr. Becker to adopt ordinance number 1514. Any discussion? Roll call, please, Ms. Amber.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julia Vera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Field?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nicholas Wakudo?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Number 2, resolution number 1375, a transfer resolution. Mr. Parker, that title, please.
Let me get there, hang on.
Yeah.
1377.
Or 1375, I think.
I see 6.
There are
That's
three.
good.
Oh, I went too quick, sorry.
Here we go. Town of Cedar Lake, Lake County, Indiana, resolution number 1375, a resolution authorizing appropriation transfers by the clerk treasurer for the following funds during budget year 2025.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Amber?
Council, this is a transfer resolution requested by the Parks Department, so within the general fund, total transfer $7,400. That's $2,400 from line 115 part-time crew to 118 on-call duty, and $5,000 from line 361 equipment repairs to line 396 miscellaneous services.
Okay. Just something we generally do as the year goes on.
Necessary operating expenses, yep.
Okay, thank you. Is there any discussion on this item? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve resolution number 1375?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Ms. Rivera to approve resolution number 1375, a transfer resolution. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Hill?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nicholas Rocupido?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Number 3, resolution number 1376, temporary loan, 2017 A, B, and C bonds. It's all you, Mr. Parker.
Town of Cedar Lake, Lake County, Indiana, Resolution 1376, a resolution authorizing temporary loan for the 2017 RDA A, B, and C bonds of the Town of Cedar Lake, Lake County, Indiana.
Thank you. Ms. Amber?
Council, this is an item that usually comes before you at the beginning of January and July. This is in regards to the 2017 RDA A, B, and C bonds. There's usually a shortfall with the tax distributions that we get from Lake County. So when we received the 2024 Pay 2025 spring tax settlement, we did receive it before June 30th, but there were not sufficient funds because we had to repay the previous temporary loan that we had outstanding. And so there was not enough cash left in the fund in order to make the lease rental payment that is due July 15th. This has been an ongoing issue with this one. We've attempted to work with DLGF, but I'm just not really sure what the answer is at this time with them. But I'm gonna try again when I have my meeting with the budget field rep later this month, because
We're always playing catch up?
yeah, and it's just not a good way to operate.
Okay.
So this is in the amount of $293,945.77, and it's a temporary loan request from WWTP Special Fund Number 633 to the 2017 RDA A, B, and C Bond Fund Number 412.
And we'll pay it back in December.
Absolutely. Once we receive the fall settlement that is anticipated on or before December 31st, we will repay it back.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, please.
Do we anticipate enough funds to pay it back with SB1? I'm just asking.
So for the remainder of this year, yes, absolutely. That is one of the things I have listed in my questions to ask the budget field rep on how we correct this moving forward, especially with Senate Bill 1 and what those potential effects are to our levies in the future.
Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion? Looking for a motion to approve resolution number 1376, please.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Becker, seconded by Ms. Rivera to approve resolution number 1376, temporary loan 2017 A, B, and C bonds. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Hill?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nicholas Rocupido?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Resolution number 1377, temporary loan 2022 A and B bonds. Mr. Parker, please.
Town of Cedar Lake, Lake County, Indiana, resolution number 1377. A resolution authorizing a temporary loan for the 2022 A and B building corporation lease rental bonds of the Town of Cedar Lake, Lake County, Indiana.
Thank you. Floor is yours.
Similar to the previous item, this is with a different bond issue. This is the 2022 A and B bond. The total amount requested to be temporary loaned is $120,501.48. I'm not 100% certain what happened with this one, because this debt was in 2022, and we've operated just fine in 2023 and 2024, and here I just received a spring settlement, and it's not what we anticipated based upon the budget that we requested and the budget that was approved and adopted by the DLGF, so it's another question I have for them once I meet with the budget field rep later this month for our annual budget workshop to find out what happened.
What was the difference? Do you know off the top of your head?
I do not have that exact number in front of me. I'm sorry, Bob. I don't have my reports in front of me because we're transitioning some stuff with IT tonight.
All right.
Well, the transfer is $120,501.48. Is that your question, Rob?
Yeah, that's what
No,
we're
I
questioning to be.
she said we didn't get the amount of money that we had budgeted.
Oh, I see.
And she's going to ask a question, and I want to know what the difference was.
Okay,
I can
understood.
definitely get that information to you.
All right.
All right, thank you. Okay, is there a motion to approve resolution number 1377?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion made by Mr. Becker, seconded by Ms. Dixon to approve resolution number 1377, temporary loan 2022 A and B bonds. Any discussion? Roll call, please, Ms. Sandberg.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Buck?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nicholas Recupero?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Thank you. Plan or BZA. Number 1, favorable recommendation for a request to discuss modifying the screening requirement, 2023-17 Railside PUD, owner petitioner Hen Holdings LLC, 10702 West 141st Avenue in Cedar Lake, the vicinity of 10702 West 141st Avenue in Cedar Lake. Do we have anybody that's got a little background on this? Terry, Mr. Conley, do you have something for us on this one?
Yeah, evidently, they were constantly getting waiver requests according to the town ordinance, because it was written, I don't want to use the word inappropriately, but it was just not written well. And everyone's been getting the waivers for their screening when they have like business models, just like the town ordinance states. So it was a correction to, I don't know why they're not here tonight, but that's what it's about. It's just to correct the PUD.
Yeah, between like industrial, like B3 doesn't need it, but from B3 to B2, they would need it.
Okay.
Where the way the
From
PUD
industrial
was.
To the ball field, that's a different zone.
Yeah,
okay.
On the outside perimeter, between that, they need it.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just the sidewalks.
Okay, just for the side. All right, Attorney Austin, have you reviewed this? Do you have anything for us?
Yeah, this had unanimous recommendation from the Plan Commission team.
Okay.
It was vetted carefully. You have several Plan Commission members up here also. If they have any comments, that was acted on cleanly in public.
That's what I understand what's been said, is that correct?
Yes, they had an unnecessary requirement.
Yeah.
The PUD agreement.
Okay.
Mr. President, I'd like to make the motion to approve.
Is this an amendment to the PUD? Is that what this is?
It is, and it's a single vote.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, we have a motion made by Mr. Teal, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Mr. Becker to amend the Railside PUD. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Buck?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nicholas Recupero?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Okay, we're rolling into new business. Number 1, Surf Internet approval for cash bond acceptance. We have a representative here this evening with us.
Yes,
Good evening.
good evening. My name is Faith Rumfeld, 14718 Dewey Street, and I am with Surf Internet, and I met some of you before. I'm just here tonight to answer any questions in regards to getting our agreement signed and approved.
If you have further questions, Mr. Scott Franco is online on...
And Pat McCauley.
Thank you.
This was also vetted pretty well in the Plan Commission level. And there were things talked about like letters of credits and performance bonds, and it turned out the best avenue to get this, some protection on this item was a cash bond, and that's what was agreed.
Yeah, I watched your meetings, and it seems like you guys thoroughly vetted this, so I don't have any questions.
And you had, in any of the other locations you've been, you've never had to do a cash bond like this before?
This was a little different than most of the markets that we've been in before. So, I mean, we're pretty skilled at pivoting, to work with, because we see it as a partnership with the municipality. So, it was a little different, we just had to do a little different dance, but I think we're there.
All right.
Has anybody reached out from other municipalities and see how they're dealing with surf, if they had any problems?
I'm not aware.
So,
There's problems, they'll present themselves quickly.
and I believe that Cliff had done some talking to Crown Point, because we're also in Crown Point. And we're in the process of building out all of Lake County. So we're in Lowell already, we're doing Dyer, Sherrville, Maryville, I mean, Cedar Lake. Obviously, I have a selfish interest in it, but we really want to round out Lake County with Cedar Lake. But I know that they had talked to Crown Point in Lake Valley.
All right.
Mr. President,
Cliff?
Yes, sir.
this is Cliff. Myself and Don Oliphant both reached out to local municipalities that had this interaction with SERF. Any concerns, we did reach out to SERF, and they advised us they're going to mediate any of those problems they had in other municipalities. Very minor issues, but they've been accommodating.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cliff.
Thank you, Cliff.
Okay, seems like it's ready to go. Is there any other discussion or any other questions? Now, is there a motion to approve the cash bond for Surf Internet?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Teal, seconded by Ms. Rivera to approve the cash bond acceptance for Surf Internet. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Hill?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nicholas Rotupido?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for bringing some options to Cedar Lake.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll be very happy.
All right, thank you. Okay, number 2, favorable recommendation from Board of Safety for approval of moving forward with vehicle replacement purchase. This item was approved at the Board of Safety meeting on June 25th, 2025, voted 5 in favor, 0 against. Chief Krushka?
Yes, we had a car total, and what this is, we were offered pretty good deal from Thomas Dodge to purchase a 23 Charger. It's a V6. It was earmarked for another police department. That deal fell through, and it was just good timing on our part. Well, maybe poor timing, and we lost the car, and then we're just in the right place at the right time, and they made us the deal, and we'd like to move ahead with it.
Is that a new 23?
Yes.
Brand new, never been used, and it's replacing a 2019 Dodge, the same kind of a vehicle.
I saw the one I got.
With 60,000 miles on it, and so we got $22,000 from insurance. So that, it's a $34,000 vehicle, so it's costing us $12,000, and they'll need to add $4,000 to upgrade the parts that they're putting on the 2023. So making it basically, would have been $38,000, but we're getting it for $16,000.
And we're funding it from where?
So with the insurance check we received, as well as police department's remaining equipment monies within the CCD fund for the year. So we will advertise an additional appropriation for CCD for your next meeting, so we can have a public hearing on the additional appropriation. That way we can get everything taken care of.
Thank you.
Good. Thank
I'll
you,
make a
Chief.
motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Becker, seconded by Mr. Carnahan, to approve moving forward with the vehicle replacement purchase as previously stated. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Hill?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nicholas Rotupido?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Good work in the department finding us a deal too, Chief. Yeah,
It presented itself.
Yeah.
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, reports, town council reports. Mr. Carnahan.
I would just, I sometimes say this, Project Love Food Pantry's open tomorrow from 9 to 11:30. We serve from 101st Avenue, all of South Lake County. Cedar Lake's our #1 client, Crown Point's #2, Lowe's #3, Apple Valley Estates #4, and Shelby's #5. And Cedar Lake Summerfest is coming up, and I'll be involved with flag raising and the people singing the Star Spangled Banner, and always excited to see that take place every year.
It's gonna be some good weather this weekend if you like it hot. Yeah,
Hopefully we don't get a lot of storms.
yeah.
You singing, Bob?
Everybody would leave the room and I started to sing.
Thank
I
you.
got Julie Rivera, and I got Brenda Roberts, Dominic Portercraft. Yeah.
Although I can belt it out.
Gloria River and Dominic Portercraft, who's a former town council member.
Yeah, Dominic does a good job with that.
And then on Sunday, I've got the Holy Name Church Youth Choir.
You got some talent.
Yeah, good job, Bob.
And the Boy Scouts are there on Thursday, excuse me. Then on Friday, I've gone blank on Friday. Knights of Columbus, thank you. And then Saturday, American Legion, and Sunday, the Annex. Thank you, Mary Jo.
All right, good job. Looking forward to this weekend. Any other town council reports?
I just have a question. I was just called by a resident that lives on Morris Street that has property, and they view the parade from there, and it says no parking on they can't back in their property and watch the parade. They pull their vans in their own property, and they watch from the back of the van, and there's no parking signs on their property.
Just for alongside the road is what the no parking sign is for.
Okay, so I just wanted to clarify it so I can explain to them
Yeah,
that they
it's
can
just
park
for
on their
eas-
property,
like Mr.
just not in the
Parker said.
easement, correct?
Right.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that.
Okay, any other town council reports?
Yes, Mr. President, I'd just like to add a little, kind of a mid-year thing, like report for unsafe building department. We continue to keep, checking, structures off the list, either they sold, getting repaired, under demo permit, several have been torn down. About the middle of the year, last year, we decided to start issuing letters instead of just having, Tony Gatto go out and, just do the report to pull them in here to have, start doing the meetings and stuff. It worked out pretty good last year with a couple of the, residents and stuff where they would, take care of it before it would come in front of the board. I just received an email as well as the rest of the, commission today, with 6 more that we are adding to it, that was on Mr. Gatto's list, with some help with Mr. Hojek, that went around and kind of did a quick sheet on some of these, to where we are trying to get some participation with the residents, whether it be a collapsed garage, prior to spending any of the town's money, getting them in here, because it just keeps adding up with mailers and stuff like that,
That's the
so,
right thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's it.
No, that's good work. Yeah, I know that when 2024 came around, I think we were going to take a more compassionate approach with that and work with people, and it seems like the board's been doing a great job with that in the department, so.
Yeah, I'd say about a week and a half ago, Mr. Connolly and myself and Ms. Hyduke sat down, went through GIS, near maps and stuff like that, just verifying addresses. Some of them may be owner occupied, some may be rental, some may be vacant. That way we can verify addresses, stuff like that, and then send the appropriate letters to where they need to go.
I think we can get some more results too, that zoning ordinance tweak where.
I believe so, yes.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yes,
A lot of people are.
that's all I have.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Teal.
I had a couple reach out to me today, in Woodland Shores off 136th Place and Cedar Street. I think they reached out to you, Ben, about where Cedar Street continues, it goes to lake access almost. They want no parking signs, or it says no parking signs right there. It's for, in case the fire truck has to, get water from there. And they said people keep blocking it all the time.
Is it public access though?
There's a public access, but there's no parking. Right there,
That's at Cedar Point Park, right?
no, it's Woodland Shores.
Oh, Woodland Shores?
Yes. Because there's a house right there, and then what happens is if someone blocks there, then no one's gonna be able to get to the lake.
So there's no parking signs there?
I think they put one parking sign, but for the actual parking signs, they haven't got them.
And that would be the police chief's responsibility to handle that, because he's the safety engineer, and the chiefs have always given us reports on putting stuff up, and then if we have to, Dave's always created an ordinance for it.
That's exactly how it should work.
Thank you. If there's no more town council reports, we will move on to town attorney, Attorney Austin.
I have some for the next meeting.
Okay, thank you, sir. Clerk Treasurer, Ms. Sandberg.
Continuing work on preparation of the 2026 budget. In addition to that, we also have received the engagement email from the State Board of Accounts, so I anticipate within the next 30 to 45 days that our next engagement will start for the 2023 and 2024 audit.
Fun times.
It'll be a nice, busy summer to finish.
Do we have any more news on the impacts of this bill?
I have seen absolutely nothing from the state, and as far as I'm aware, there has not been an update from AIM yet.
Before you move on, I need to add one thing, and maybe this is just the right way to do it. I think we all know that Mr. Rice had a surcharge in his basement a while back. The insurance company has refused to pay. We had a discussion with Dave about maybe taking a crack at the insurance company. I would like to bring that up in public tonight and put it to a vote, so he can do what he needs to do if it's the council's will.
To take another approach at the insurance?
Yes.
I support that.
Would that take, Attorney Austin, would that take an amendment to the agenda to allow?
It would.
Yeah. Okay.
So what exactly are we doing? Right. I just want to make sure I'm clear on this. So we're asking.
We have insurance that is supposed to cover our systems if they malfunction. In this particular instance, it certainly malfunctioned and affected two properties. One was a crawl space, one was a full finished basement. Significant amount of damage. Insurance company says, not our problem. So, that's what insurance is for. It's certainly not Mr. Rice's fault. Not the last thing I'm gonna say about it. I mean, I don't like tort claims, but this, in my view, is a legitimate one. So, we're either going to try to put pressure on the insurance company to take care of this item, or we're gonna have a lot more dialogue about it in the future. I don't know what the right is.
Do we have a total again? Because I know we heard it before, I don't know if anybody remembers
It was
it.
in the $20,000 range, I think.
I didn't know if it was that much, or...
But doesn't the insurance company have attorneys that kind of fight this for us?
Well,
Like, I don't want to make it a habit.
I don't want to get out of school here, but either way, this is going to get litigated.
If it gets litigated, though, would it be our town attorney that litigates, or would it be the insurance company's attorney? That's just why I don't want to...
I would just like to make an attempt to supersede a whole bunch of litigation going forward and more aggravation for this gentleman who has already been harmed by this situation.
That's true.
And it shouldn't cost a lot to have Dave give a call.
It should be minimal. They're either going to move or they're not going to move, but the long and the short of it is, it's not Mr. Rice's fault.
I have a question. Ben, did you reach out to the insurance company before?
I reached out to them before, and I spoke to them again last week, and he said that they continue to deny the claim, that it was not our fault, that the sewer backed up into his basement. I then asked them, I told them that the gentleman is going to sue the town. Is the insurance company going to defend us in court? He said, yes, we have lawyers that will defend you in court. And I said, and if the court says it's your fault, you gotta pay it, he said, then we will pay it. We pay the insurance company to represent us. And if he does sue us, and it goes to court, and the insurance company, they defend their stance, it's not our fault, and the court agrees it's not our fault, then they've earned their keep.
Here's what I know so far, Ben. Mr. Rice did a Freedom of Information Act request and got some records on some of our maintenance, and it certainly is not flattering to us.
I know that.
So, if this were to go to court then, and the insurance denied it multiple times, it goes to court, the courts find that the town was liable, could this possibly affect the town as a claim, even though they're the ones that denied it and caused more cost to it? I'm just wondering if I'm overanalyzing it or what, because...
I think we let the insurance company do their job. And if the court rules in favor of Mr. Rice, then we pay his claim. Either way, we're gonna pay his claim. I mean, the court's either gonna say pay it, or we're gonna get our attorney involved and try to strong arm the insurance company to pay it. Or we win in court and we don't pay it.
I mean, I understand where Mr. Parker's coming from. I would just think that that could potentially lead to incurring more cost if we were to dig in with more attorneys.
You set a precedent also. And do it. And I feel for Mr. Rice, I do. But then you set a precedent that, Joe Brown has a water issue. Well, you paid for his, so now why don't you pay for mine?
This is kind of a rare and unique instance. It is certainly not an act of God. God is not operating in our sewer system. So the insurance company, that's what they said, it was an act of God. I disagree vehemently. I am gonna make a motion to amend the agenda and take action on this item, just so I can tell Mr. Rice that I've done everything that I can do. And, I guess we'll see what happens and go from there.
Okay. So we have a motion by Mr. Parker to amend the agenda. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Carnahan. Any discussion?
What is actually the motion?
To amend the agenda to add it to it.
Okay. One first step, okay.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
No.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
No.
Richard Pugh?
No.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nicholas Recupero?
Yes, motion carries 4-3.
Okay, now I'm gonna make a motion to have Mr. Russian reach out to the insurance company and see if he can get them to understand this situation a little better than what we've done so far.
We have a timeline for this? And so Mr. Rice gets some answers.
Well, whenever David has time to reach out, that's what I'm moving towards. I don't think it will take long.
Okay. So we have a motion by Mr. Parker to instruct Attorney Austin to contact our insurance company about Mr. Rice's situation. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Mr. Carnahan. Any discussion? I have discussion. I think it's worth just giving a crack with our attorney to make this work. I don't know where it's gonna go, but I know people that personally are having problems with insurance companies as of late, especially after that tornado ripped through town. And it's amazing how much an insurance company fights you over stuff when you pay and pay year after year and they wanna deny and deny. It's really a sad state of affairs. I don't know where this is gonna go, but me personally, I think it's worth taking a crack at it to avoid litigation. That's just my opinion.
I get it. Like, personally, I kind of agree with Ben to let our insurance company's lawyers handle it, because I don't want to set a precedence where we're going to do this, multiple times and then be paying our insurance. And maybe we need to look at a new insurance company if we're not happy with them, denying people, for sure.
I agree with that.
Yeah. There's plenty of them. So.
I guess, once Attorney Austin makes a phone call, has some dialogue, maybe we'll have a better understanding of where we want to go with the insurance company.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
this is not brain surgery. I will get back to you in a couple of weeks with a report, and I will take a stab at more stern discussion to be had with the insurance carrier. They do have attorneys, claims examiners, they all have JDs behind their names. It isn't brain surgery, however. It's not that big a deal. To Mr. Rice, it is. I'm not saying the claims are not a big deal. I'm saying the process we're engaged in here. So,
All right, thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julia Rivera?
No.
Chuck Becker?
No.
Mary Jo Dixon?
No.
Richard Deal?
No.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nick Recupido?
Yes, motion fails 3-4. Okay?
Thank you for considering it.
You're welcome. Did you have anything else, Ms. Sandberg? Were you all wrapped up?
No, I'm done.
Okay, all right, thank you. Town manager, Mr. Eldridge.
I have nothing at this time.
Nothing? Okay. Do we have any written communication submitted?
I'm not in receipt of anything.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Hold on, Mr. President. I was reading that. Sorry, Mr. President, I was reading something. I just wanted to add something. It kind of goes along the lines with written communication, something I received as a business owner today as far as regarding the fire department. I understand Mr. Mauger's not or Chief Mauger's not here today, and I believe Ms. Dixon and I both spoke about this over the phone today in a letter. Basically, Mary Jo, I don't know if I could see the letter real quick.
You can have it.
Thank you. It's basically for dear fire safety friends. The Town of Cedar Lake Fire and EMS Department has initiated this year's fire safety education program again. It's a letter that we usually receive. It still has the past chief's name on there and has instructions to give the checks to the fire department, to the clerk over, there, or the assistant, and not to our clerk treasurer. So I don't know if we need to have some instruction to Mr. Mauger.
That was, so I believe Cliff went through the past emails and found an email dated, I think, February of this year, where contact was made with Todd, was still fire chief.
Yeah.
And I guess they gave him the okay to do that.
Yeah, I just didn't know if there's any kind of correction that we need to do now. I understand, I do promotion stuff like that where companies call me, I just keep everything the same. So I just wanted to bring it to the attention and stuff like that.
But an insight from the safety board, they did not approve this, just so you know. I just want to make a point of that. And then, of course, the check's not being sent to you disturbed me personally.
So I did have a discussion with Chief Mauger about that earlier today. And so what I suggested to him is because we have better storage facilities here, that he would instruct the assistant down there that if any checks are received, they are to come to my office immediately so that they can be locked up, and then he was to find out more information for how this process goes with this specific company, because I am not familiar, so where it needs to go after that. But it would be secured within my office.
Very good.
Thank you.
All right.
Dave, what's your opinion on this?
Sorry, I don't have it.
Must not have got a letter.
I don't. I heard about it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Teal. With that being said, we'll open up the floor to public comment. Please state your name and address to the record, and please adhere to the 3-minute rule and the rules of decorum posted outside.
Cheryl Parker, 7227 West 136th Court. Mine is like a 3-second question. What's the status on the public safety buildings at this point?
They turned the water on yesterday.
Finally. Good. So, the departments will be moving in shortly, or after Summerfest, or?
I think I heard the police department.
So the police department will be moving in after Summerfest, probably start doing the process towards the end of July, 1st of August. Start moving stuff over to the fire department, as yet to be decided.
Is there still a punch list left for that building to be done?
I don't believe so. There's one valve that was leaking, interior valve that was leaking. I think it was ordered today and was supposed to be put in Thursday.
Well, I heard a lot of noise during the week, rat-a-tat-tat with the monthly concrete or something they were working on.
There was a drainage problem
And
they
the
were working on.
cherry picker outside.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all been
That's
resolved?
been, yeah, the concrete's been removed, fixed, and they poured concrete, I think it was last week.
Are you guys happy you'll be moving finally?
Yes.
I keep asking this question.
Thank you, Ms. Parker.
Gail Brannon, 7014 West 139th Place.
Hello.
I was wondering about the lot across the street. They've always been able to park in it for Summerfest, and it's all roped off now, that there's no parking in that lot, and it's just straight here across from the park, right?
Across Morris?
Yeah.
You're not talking about the barber shop lot, the old barber shop lot?
No, it's Ray Ferry's old place.
Yeah.
And they would charge to park
Right,
there.
that's privately owned.
Yeah,
Oh,
private
it's
property.
it's not town-owned?
No.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
I wanted to purchase it years ago, but I couldn't get,
Okay,
the will of the council wasn't there at the time.
all right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else for public comment?
Cheryl Kerr, 9900 West 129th Place.
Hello.
I'm going to talk loud because I can't hear anything. I watch it at home and then I can hear what everyone says. I'm a little frustrated because I would like to know, like, what is the responsibility, like, say, if you call Public Works, are they supposed to call you back ever if you have a question, or, because they don't. There's no secretary that answers. It's a recording. Same thing when I call your office, nothing called back. So are we allowed to ask them questions, or are we pestering them, or what?
No, I think that's the best route to go, Ms. Kerr.
Pardon?
I think that's the best route to go, is to call department heads, call your elected officials. You can get your answers quicker that way than waiting for a meeting every 2 weeks.
But they don't call you back. So I still have questions about the lake, and I did fill out some Freedom of Information Act papers, and turned them in. But I've called the DNA, the Department of Health, the FDA, the EPA, the IDEM, Army Corps of Engineers to try to get some answers. When I feel like Mr. Kubiak, although I'm related to him, could answer the questions. Cedar Lake recycles their stormwater, and they call it MS4. Sounds something like out of some movie, MS4. And then we send the stormwater to ponds, anyway in my area. I think stormwater goes in the sewer behind my house and other people's homes, and it goes to the ponds. From there, it goes back to the lake. So when you think about it, anything an association, and ours does, puts about 5 applications, you name it, we do it. We've got a golf course-looking lawn. We've asked to use, things that have a lot of chemicals in them, but our leader says they're very expensive, So is that water tested? Do any of you know? Is it tested for PCBs or the stormwater, any other contaminants?
I'm not aware.
Because it goes right into the lake,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I can't answer that, unfortunately.
It's a state-owned lake, we don't own it.
There are catch basins in certain.
We don't
areas.
own the lake.
Well, we don't own the lake?
No, it's.
No, I know, it's just, okay, but we fish in the lake. We take, like this man said, Terry, I think his name is, took 50 kids fishing, 90 kids fishing, and did you tell their parents or them that the Indiana guideline, here's one here, I don't know exactly what kind of fish we have in that lake, but northern pike, 1 meal a month. If you're under 50, I guess they consider that you could get pregnant. I never heard of anyone 50 getting pregnant, but
Ms.
if
Kerr,
you're pregnant
you got
or
10
male...
seconds, Ms. Kerr.
Pardon?
10 seconds, please.
Okay, then I guess I'm done.
I have
Yeah.
I have a few other questions.
Carol, I have some test results for you from the lake. And I'm just gonna hit 3 of the results, and then I'll let you have this. But, one test was for mercury. The actual limit for mercury is 0.5 parts per trillion, and our lake tested at 0.53 parts per trillion. put that in perspective, if you have 1 trillion ping pong balls, 0.53 of a ping pong ball is what that measurement is. Another was arsenic. The detection level or the action level is 0.001 milligrams per liter. Ours tested at 0.002 milligrams per liter. To put that in perspective, milligrams per liter is if you had 1 million ping pong balls and 0.002 of a ping pong ball tested positive. And then the last one here is chromium. The action level is 0.001, ours tested at 0.002. And that's parts per million. So again, that'd be 1 million ping pong balls and 0.002 of a ping pong ball.
When was that tested, can I ask you that?
These
What
were
year?
done in 23.
Pardon?
2023.
Excuse me, is that the sediment, the water, or the fish?
This would be from the sediment.
The
So
sediment.
I have these here for you. If
Okay.
you want to take those and review them.
Mr. Grosek recently sent me the same information.
This is from the dredging, from the
Correct.
dredge?
That's correct.
Okay, because I couldn't find that anywhere.
Thank you, Ms. Kerr.
But I just want to say that the fish weren't tested for like 9 years.
Did they
And we did have PCBs, mercury and chloridine and catfish samples 9 years ago. So how do we know what's in the fish now? And then they recommend not eating, this is current. So it's your body, just be informed, make a good choice. Your body, your choice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Anyone else for public comment?
Barb Orsi, 10290 West 138th Place. I might have missed, because I didn't come to a couple meetings and stuff, but I just wondered if there's any update on that sidewalk project on Morris, because we paid for the engineering, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So where are we with
Yeah.
it?
Do we have,
Does anybody know?
It's kind of up in the air at the moment because we don't have funding.
From?
We don't have funding at all.
I think that probably the biggest problem is the impacts that this Senate Bill 1, with our tax revenue, our real estate tax revenue, that the impact that's gonna have on our revenues for projects and funding, which I don't think that was quite anticipated when this project was kicked off.
Probably not, but
Yeah,
no surprise there.
yeah,
Thanks, guys, and Judy,
yeah.
and Washington too.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, last call for public comment. Anybody online, Ms. Sandberg?
No hands raised.
Okay, our next meeting is Tuesday, July 15th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Everyone have a hoot this Independence Day. Thanks for coming tonight. Meeting's adjourned at 7:54 p.m.